Fest, and do want to recognize some exceptional student athletes here, an exceptional team. The Brevard College cycling team earned 5 individual national titles, more than any other participating school, and a third-place overall finish at the 2021 USA Cycling Collegiate Mountain Bike National Championships held in Durango, Colorado. The highest finishing collegiate program from the eastern half of the United States, 11 podium finishes. And really look forward to introducing you to this team who's back here in Brevard, North Carolina after the Mountain Bike National Championships. Head coach of the team's Brad Purley, assistant coach Cypress Gorey. 2 student athletes made the trip to Durango to provide mechanical support, very critical to this team's success. Senior Finn Cullen. And also providing mechanical support, freshman Matthew Zuniga. And 13 Brevard College student athletes raced in the national championships. First up, he raced in men's downhill and dual slalom, sophomore from Bishop, Georgia, Jack Brown. Next up, racing in cross-country, short track, downhill, and dual slalom, he finished in 3rd place in the individual omnium and 4th place in men's varsity downhill. Freshman from King City, Ontario, Owen Clark. Next up, he raced in cross-country, short track, downhill, dual slalom. He won the individual national championship in men's varsity downhill, 2nd place in men's varsity omnium, 5th place in men's varsity dual slalom, and was a member of the 3rd place team relay team. Senior from King City, Ontario, Tyler Clark. Next up, she raced in cross-country, short track, downhill, and dual slalom, was a member of BC's 3rd place team relay team. Senior from right here in Brevard, North Carolina, Hannah Dixon. Next up, he raced in short track and cross-country, the freshman from Fort Mill, South Carolina, Phillip Ford. Next up, he raced in dual slalom and downhill, the freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, Wyatt Hackney. Racing in cross-country and the endurance events, the senior from Brockville, Pennsylvania, Ryan Johnson. She raced in cross-country, short track, downhill, and dual slalom, won the individual national championship in women's varsity downhill, 2nd place in varsity individual omnium, 3rd place in women's varsity dual slalom, and a member of that 3rd place team relay team, the senior from Ontario, Erica Leonard. Next up, she raced in both cross-country and short track cross-country, the sophomore from Verona, New Jersey, Nina Macnowski. Next up, he raced in downhill and dual slalom, the sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, Cameron Mader. Racing in both cross-country and short track cross-country, the junior from Valley City, Ohio, Tyler Miranda. Racing in cross-country, short track, downhill, and dual slalom, this student athlete won 3 individual national championships, men's varsity cross-country, men's varsity short track cross-country, and the men's varsity individual omnium for the best overall rider. 2nd place in men's varsity downhill, a member of the 3rd place team relay team, the senior from Uxbridge, Ontario, Tyler Orschel. This student athlete raced in women's cross-country, short track, downhill, and dual slalom, 3rd place in varsity downhill, 4th place in the individual omnium, and a 5th place podium finisher in women's varsity dual slalom. From Quebec, the senior Rachel Pajot. How about one more big round of applause for this mountain bike team that finished 3rd in the nation at the Mountain Bike National Championships in Durango, Colorado. And while we have you all here, do want to invite in our Director of Athletics, Miranda Nash.
Just want to say how proud of this team that I am. Obviously with COVID, your season was taken away last year. You guys put in the effort even when you didn't have a season to compete in, and it showed. So you represented us well. You made us all proud. It was fun to follow along, and I look forward to the rest of the year.
Thank you, Miranda. Now I'd like to invite over here Erica Leonard, the senior, and we're going to do a quick little Q&A here with Erica. Erica won the individual national championship in women's varsity downhill, second place in varsity individual omnium. Erica, you know, what a great experience, this collegiate mountain bike national championships. Now that you're back here in Brevard and maybe put it in perspective, overall thoughts?
Well, coming from Canada, we don't really have collegiate mountain biking or cycling for that matter, so being able to go to my first collegiate nationals and come away with some medals is pretty incredible.
And if you can give folks here just a little bit of an idea what the conditions were like there at the Purgatory Resort in Durango, Colorado.
Well, let's just say I'm from Canada, and it was a lot to handle. Yeah, we rode through ice, mud, also hot weather. We really got it all, but I'd like to give a special shout out to our mechanics who dealt with the weather, probably more so than we did. They had to clean our bikes every night, and a lot of us had more than one bike, some 3, I think. But yeah, we definitely owe a lot of our success to Finn and Matt.
Very good. Before I let you go, Erica, you know, final thoughts, senior, you know, as far as this whole Brevard College cycling team experience.
Yeah, well, I've never really got to race with a team before, besides when I was really young, and definitely the team atmosphere pushes you to go harder than you normally would just racing for yourself. So yeah, I definitely owe all the success to the team and basically keeping me in the sport to the team. Yeah.
Very good. That's Erica Leonard, ladies and gentlemen, individual national champion in women's varsity downhill, second place in the individual omnium. Going to also invite over here Tyler Orschel, the senior. Tyler won 3 individual national championships, cross country, short track, cross country, and the omnium. Now the omnium, Tyler, is a combination of all the events, and this includes these downhill races, and you're an endurance guy. Can you kind of tell folks a little bit, you know, how that, you know, manifests itself and, you know, what it meant to, you know, perform well in those downhill events as well?
Yeah, it's kind of been a work in progress since freshman year. I've always kind of struggled in the slalom events and never really put a good run in downhill at nationals together. So this year the conditions were a little more favorable for someone from Brevard dealing with like Pisgah kind of conditions. So it kind of played into my favor this year and was able to put some good results down.
Now, the other big factor when you go to Colorado to race mountain bikes is altitude. And I know you did some, you know, unique training to get ready for this altitude.
Yeah, I just, you know, did some research online of how someone from sea level can prepare to race at 10,000 feet. And I'd never done it before, but I think it ended up paying off because I didn't feel nearly as bad as I have in the past at altitude.
Last one for you, Tyler. Same question I had for Erica. Now that, you know, your senior year and, you know, your final mountain bike collegiate national championships is in the books, you know, final thoughts, perspective on it all, this collegiate experience?
Yeah, it's been awesome, and it was definitely like pretty sad last year with COVID not being able to race, so getting an extra opportunity to race this year was special enough as it was, and then ending on such a good note with the team is pretty awesome.
Very good. That's Tyler Orschel, ladies and gentlemen, winner of 3 individual national championships and a member of this team right here who finished 3rd in the country in the Team Omnium. How about one more big round of applause for Brevard College Cycling? And want to give one more shout out to the coaching staff. These 2 were unable to be here for this special event this afternoon, but, you know, obviously tons of hours behind the scenes head coach Brad Purley and assistant coach Cypress Gorey. Also, big thank you to all the sponsors of Brevard College Cycling. Special thanks to Wes Dixon of Sycamore Cycles and also Brevard College Athletics Hall of Famer Thad Walker. They both made the trip all the way to Durango to help support these student athletes as well, and just a cast of thousands who made this success possible. Congratulations again, student athletes. Go Tornadoes!